Time to make the box. So I am using my Simply scoring tool, which I love, and I do use it a lot. I haven't used it in my videos forever. I don't know why, but this is a tool. If you don't already have one of these in your craft collection, highly recommend it. Stampin' Up sells them. And I am using my take your pick tool with the stylus point, but this does come with a stylus as well, and little pegs that fit in here. I'm not even going to use those today. So the box is easy peasy, my friends. I'm using 2 pieces of fairy vanilla. So this one's been cut to measure 6.5 by 7 3/4. So for this one, I'm going to score at the 1-inch mark all the way around. There were so many different boxes that I wanted to or that I considered to use for this class, but some of them had a lot more cutting and a lot more measurements. I'm gonna put that aside. A lot of panels, and I thought, you know, after making these cards, let's just do something easy and pretty. And this is such a great box, and it'll be easy to remember how to make it, I think. But you have the tutorial, so of course it's going to be easy to remember. All right, so this piece measures 8 1/4 by 7. So this one's going to get scored at 1 1/4 all the way around. You could use your paper trimmer for doing the scoring, but I do like using my Simply scoring tool when I'm making boxes and things like that. So you want to score up on all those folds. I remember years ago wondering, like, even when you fold your cards in half, does it matter, like, the score line? Like, does it need to be like the bump? Does it go on the outside or the inside? Not that it really matters, but someone once told me where your score line is indented, you're going to fold, and that's going to be on the outside. Where it's bumped, that's going to be on the inside. I don't know if that matters to anybody, or if that's just really neither here nor there for some of you. But sometimes I think about that, because I do remember, like, I don't know, does it make a difference? It doesn't make a difference, but it became a habit for me to do it that way. All right, so the bigger piece is going to be the lid, and the smaller piece is going to be the box. And if you've done paper crafting for a while, you're gonna know how this comes together. So I'm just going to cut on the 2 ends. And the 2 ends on this side are cut. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to put my tear-in tape on, right? And that's going to make the lid. Or sorry, no, the base of the box, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. There's so many different ways you can make boxes. I've made so many boxes over the years. You can also cut these flaps on a little bit of a slant, like a little bit of a diagonal. That'll be fine. But I'm just going to keep it simple. Otherwise, I'm never going to get this class done for a start. I want to get this tutorial wrapped up for you guys so that it's ready nice and early, and I can get it sent off to those of you who have purchased this class. And I so appreciate you, and I really hope that you have enjoyed this class and the tutorials and projects. Okay, obviously I'm just taking the backings off and flicking them onto my desk. Okay, so I am going to fold this in and line up the corner with the edge. I feel like I missed, yes, I missed that one. Oh my goodness. You can tell it's getting late in the day. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to line that up. And then line this one up. See? So easy. Easy is a beautiful thing sometimes, don't you think? We don't need to overcomplicate things. There is the box base. All right, now this is, of course, the lid. So I'm going to cut up on the ends this time versus where I cut up on the sides. Again, you could do it either way. All right, and so these are going to go in exactly the same way. Okay, but oh, and you know what? I think I will cut these on a diagonal just so you can see what I was talking about. You don't have to. Oops. Okay, so that this part is optional. But just to show you what I meant, you could do it that way or just leave it the way it is. Okay? All right, let's decorate this. Okay, so I have a piece of crumb cake. This measures 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then I have a piece of fairy vanilla, and I used the smaller of the two circle dies from the Encircled in Nature's collection. And then this one that has the pretty berries, this one I'm going to put right in the center, and I'm actually going to fold this up so that it fits through my die cutting machine, and I'm going to run that through. Okay, so let me show you what you get when you do that. You get this absolutely sensational, gorgeous die cut. Okay. Like, is that gorgeous or what? Like, that is so pretty. So pretty. Okay, so now, and I did get, oh look, I got some embossing on this side. Oh, that reminds me of another technique. Okay, I need to focus. Focus. All right, put that aside. Not using this. Now I'm going to take my crumb cake marker, and I'm going to follow along on the branch first of all. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. Next, I'm going to take my Moody Mauve, I want wild wheat, and my garden green marker. Okay, I'm going to take my wild wheat first and color in the bottom half of the berries, because I want to have two tones with the wild wheat and the Moody Mauve. Show you what I have. Right, and I can see I missed one right here, so I'm gonna go back in there. And now I'm just gonna add garden green to the tips. And if I've missed some white, I'll go back in or just leave it, I'm not sure. This back in, and these are going to get tucked right back into the die. Okay, those are going to get glued in. So kind of like a puzzle piece, you're going to have to move them around so that you get them just the right way. But before I do that, I am going to glue this piece on. So this is going on the inside. Remember, that's going to go on like that. But before I do that, we have this circle, right? That's going to get put on right here before you glue this down. Okay, because I want some of that crumb cake to come through, but I want to be able to see what I write on there. Okay, and I'm going to stamp the flowers in the center of that. And just like we did on the cards, I'm going to go ahead and use my inks and my water painter to color. You can see after I add the light wash of ink, I'm going back in with a darker layer, and I'm just following the lines basically that are already on the stamp image, and that's where I'm adding the extra layers and of color, and then just pulling that color out. Do some splattering. Actually, before I do the splatter, I'm going to take my mask and put the mask back on. Bring this handy dandy stamp back. I'm going to use crumb cake again, and just like on the cards, stamp it off and then stamp it on. That way it's not super duper dark, and I'm just going around my mask. Okay. Almost looks like a basket. All right, now let's do some splattering. This back in, and this is going to get glued down. It doesn't matter how that's positioned, as long as it's relatively center. You can spin it around a little bit until you're happy with it. Okay. And now to put this next piece on, I'm just going to put glue in where each one of those berries are. I'm not worried about this stems not being glued right down. Okay, let's see here. Just to show you what I'm doing to line it up, I know there's 3 here and 1 there, and I'm just kind of using these 2 right here so I know what goes where. And then just position them on. Then there's this little bit right here. I'm just going to glue that on. Look how pretty. Okay, I'm going to take my tear and tape and put it on these flaps. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of glue on them as well. But we'll get these off first. And what I like to do is take my bone folder and just really get in there really well. Oops, there we go. I should have done that to the base too, so I'll do that again. And I'm going to add a bird to the front of my box. So I'm going to ink the bird up with my StazOn, color it with my inks, cut it and put it on, and I'm also going to stamp a sentiment. So I'm going to stamp this right onto my Moody Mauve, Grateful for You. I'm going to set that aside. Actually, that's crooked, so I'm going to do that again. That's better. And just cut that out. Okay. And this is going to go right here. And I'm just going to use up the ink that's on my block. just mixing some colors just to make a different brownish green, just for the branch. Okay, now before I put that on, I forgot to splatter. And I'm going to use, I don't have any more crumb cake. So I'm going to use the Moody Mauve to splatter. Now, I do want to put some crumb cake on here, so I'm still going to do that. Cut out my bird. And I'm gonna cut in between his little leggies, and I'm actually just going to cheat a little bit and cut right above the branch, and then I'll just glue that branch down. So much easier doing it that way. Okay, and I'm actually going to pop that up with dimensionals, and then I'll glue that little branch down. Fun! Just keep coming up with more and more ways to do this. Just using up bits of dimensionals. On his legs also. Okay. I'm gonna have the branch just sitting on the edge with this little tail just coming right off. So push that glue down and then just pop him right up. Okay. All that's left is stamping the envelopes. This would be with this card. Okay, and then we have the bird card, You Mean So Much to Me, which coordinates with this card. And of course, these don't have to. I mean, you could absolutely use the bird with the mushrooms or whatever you want. And then the flower, Grateful for You, and then a huge thank you. And then lastly, Here for You with the trees, and then May this year be incredible and filled with possibilities. So I'm going to go ahead and put those cards into the box. There is is the completed gift box for your cards and matching envelopes. I really had a great time putting these together. I hope you also enjoy making these cards. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and the video class that goes along with the PDF. And I sure appreciate you purchasing this class as well. Have a lot of fun with this. Take care and happy stamping.